Good morning, Mark Todd, Shelly Operations. I'm here for your July 20th morning update. I'm going to walk you guys around the fire. I'm just going to point out and follow me around the map, and I'm going to try to utilize west, north, east, and south just to kind of orientate the public here. And I'll point out our divisions in those geographical areas. So we're going to start out here in the southwest corner of the fire, which we're calling Division Alpha. We have crews that are making really good progress and constructing line, and I want everyone to understand that this is very difficult terrain and the landscape is very difficult and challenging for firefighters. So we're a combination of not only are we on the ground, but we're also utilizing air resources. So helicopters are coming in and hitting some of those hot spots that firefighters are unable to get to and making really good progress. One of the things I wanted to point out that I think it's very important for people to understand that we're going to have firefighters that are going to be staying all night for 1 to 2 days out in Division Alpha, and we call that a spike camp. So we'll be flying in supplies to help those firefighters to maintain their logistical support in those areas, and that way they don't cuts down on the drive time and hiking time, and they can stay out there on that line and continue to work. So very good progress in Division Alpha with continued line construction along with the aerial resources. As we move along the top of the fire in the western portion of the fire, you guys can see in the map there's a lot of black line. That's good. With that, we still have a lot of crews in there that are reinforcing those line construction. They're going as safe as possible into the burned area and keeping this fire in that same footprint. And when I say they're going as safe as possible, they're just trying to seek out any type of heat signatures that they're finding and mitigating those to keep that from being spread. As we move around to the northern portion of the fire, so we went through Division Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Now we're moving into Division Delta and Echo. So again, you can see a lot of the black line. You can see a lot of dozer line. That dozer line out here away from the fire, that's what we call our contingency lines. So in this portion over here, we're protecting the Scott Valley proper, as well as the town of Etna. And we still have a lot of resources in that area that are reinforcing those lines, making sure that if we indeed have a wind event, any of those heat signatures that are showing up in any of our recon area or areas of recon, when I say that, that means firefighters are out there looking for targets of opportunity and making sure that they could safely get in there and mitigate any of those heat signatures that they're finding. As we move around town towards the east portion of the fire, Division Foxtrot and Gulf and Mike, this area here, we call this the horseshoe. Okay, so this area here, it's kind of hard to see on the map, but it's very steep, rocky. There's also a burn scar. The landscape is very difficult for firefighters to get into. Again, here at where there's a square number 3, that means that that's a helispot 3, and we have firefighters that are 2 hand crews or continue to stay the night out there for the next 48 hours, and they are mitigating any heat where they could insert themselves safely and continue to build line construction with the crews that are still driving out there during the day. And again, utilizing the aerial resources. One thing that I want to mention too that we're also utilizing to help us see a bit of portion of the fire is the UAS, and that's basically drones. We're utilizing drones to fly, and they have infrared cameras on there, and we could see where the heat is being built up in those areas, so we can insert firefighters to take out those heat signatures that we're finding on the infrared camera. As we come around here towards the southern part of the fire, this area where you see 6 Mile, that's a camp. We have firefighters inserted there, and they're trying to find insertion points in this difficult terrain and landscape to continue to build line construction. They're having a lot of success. They're also making indirect line and utilizing the aerial resources. The other thing I wanted to point out that firefighters are doing, we're in a transition of starting to repair some of the dozer line in some of the areas that firefighters went into, and we call that fire suppression repair, and we're starting to backhaul some of the hose as well as the trash and repair the roads, so that way when we are done with this footprint, we could try to leave it as clean and as best as possible as the way we found it. With that being said, that's the end of my report.